Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of CEO and Market Expert Interviews. I'm your host Lucian, some of you know me as Triangle Investor from social medias. I'm joined today by Brad Rourke, President, Director and Chief Executive Officer for Scottie Resources Corp. Brad is also known as a CEO who always has a smile on his face. Brad, where is that legendary smile?
Yeah, well, here I am. I'm trying to look cool, but yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming to my show, Brad. Always great to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me. Very good to see you. We saw each other last week in person for the first time, but very nice to see you again.
Yeah, it was a good conference in London. And like you said, we meet over there. The last time, actually, before that, the last time we talked, I think we were both had short sleeves. It was end of August or the beginning of September, and you were in the middle of doing 10,000 meter drill program on the Scottie gold mine project. A lot of positive stuff since then. The assays, as I see, are getting better and better. With the last one reported, that was yesterday, intercept of 37, 38 grams per ton gold over 4 meters. And then you have you have discovered the new zone as well. So, Brad, let's cover that. Walk us through the results you announced yesterday, first of all.
Sure. So people need to. Yesterday's hole was a very long hole, the longest one of the year, most expensive hole. It was about 700 meters that hole, but it was designed to hit multiple zones at the Scottie gold mine. Now, the Scottie drilling this year, we've shown a lot of good results, but understand those are all confirmation holes because we're coming up with a resource. And so, but what's exciting, and yes, 34 grams over 4 meters, a bonanza hit, and
Yeah.
at the end zone, which is, M zone, not to confuse people, and I didn't name these things, so it's from
Okay.
historically, is really actually becoming very interesting because it really hasn't been mined at the N zone. But what's the most exciting is that new discovery, even though it's not an eye-popping gram meter hit, it's just like 6 grams over 6 meters or close to 7 over 6, but that's my favorite part of that release, only because it's kind of a blind discovery. We called it the Wolf Zone because it's underneath Wolf Creek. It was just unanticipated. We while doing this confirmation drilling, let's pull that drill back a little bit and let's go underneath this creek as we were just trying to hit a different orientation to hit the Scottie gold mine. And so it's a pleasant surprise because that's how good things start, right? And then so next year, I know, Thomas, you'll drill 4 or 5 really tight holes in around that intercept, because then the next part of exploration is you try and find the geometry of whatever that is. But pretty exciting with the first thing that you didn't even know was there, and to have a hit like that, it's much like our C and D veins, or even the Blueberry hole for that matter. It started off pretty slow, and so yeah, very exciting, and then really happy to see that kind of grades, because everything you see at Scottie is going to be for the purpose of an MRE coming out in the next 3 months or so. So
Yeah,
just
I will
gives us
ask you about that.
confidence. Yeah, just gives us
Yeah.
confidence that it's going to come up with where our anticipation is. So all things are good.
Yeah. In this drilling, you focused on the specific area. You didn't go around much, right?
That's right. Yeah, up until this year, it was a lot of more really big exploration, and then we kind of hit a confidence level last year. So I did a way smaller program, not because we didn't want to, but because the market, and therefore, we have a pretty strong treasury right now because of that. And so you never know if you're making the right decision till after. And so now I feel good about that decision. But most, and we only did 3,500 at Blueberry, which for the last 2 years, I've done almost 40,000 at Blueberry. So, we just don't want people to think that we're walking away. Oh my gosh, I can continue adding ounces at Blueberry. And we still got Blueberry results to put out into the new year. And, things are going good. I think what we've demonstrated in 2024 is we're more than just Blueberry. And then the Scottie, and then, like the Wolf Zone and maybe P Zone and C and D, Ben Vein, Domino, they're not even going to be part of this resource. But that can show the potential. And that's where I start going, I feel comfortable saying we could target 2 million ounces in around that one intrusion. But yeah, we'll see. Let's step at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, you stated before, I remember that you are targeting 1 million ounces. But like you said, with these additional areas, it could go much higher, right?
I feel very comfortable. And if people who've been following me for a long time would understand is it hasn't even been 12 months. The most I ever said was a pathway to 1 million. And we'll see. I mean, I'm targeting. I don't know what that resource is going to be. It's in independent people's hands but I mean, I think, we're technically pretty sound. And so it's going to be around there. But the important part for an investor, and they really, not all apples, not everything's compared the same, is that when we get that resource out, you look at how few meters it took us to get there. And then that's where I go, I think we stand out quite exceptionally to a lot of stories around the world, and not many. I think the resource will constitute, in my mind, about 55,000 meters total. And if it is truly 1 million ounces for 55,000 meters drilling, and then we have very, very good drilling costs for our area, I think that's what people should focus on. And if the market would just allow me to go do I'd like to go do 40,000 meters next year, but you got to balance blowing your shareholders up, and you just got to find that balance of which, I'm a shareholder. And I bought my shares. It's not like I started this company. I was an investor in it and took it over.
I know. Yeah, you have to take care of yourself as well.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying.
So 55,000 meters drilled so far. Brad, is there any untested areas that you would like to strike in the future? I mean, you have these zones. Okay, you are all over those zones. But is there any areas that you would like to explore further?
There's so many. But if I went, and this, we could do a whole segment just on that. I mean, if anyone was there and saw my first presentations, and I look back at my old presentations and go, oh my gosh, I was so naive. But, I had this old EM survey that a gentleman named Ron Nedolinsky gave me that he had from the 80s. And the Blueberry had this 2D IP signature. And Blueberry wasn't anything. I mean, they knew there was a vein there. And I paid an awful lot I paid $1 million cash for that vein in 2018, which was an extraordinary amount of money for us at that time. It was, a make or break type thing, but I needed size. That same signature, I have 4 or 5 others just down from Domino, and we've ground truthed them, meaning we walked around, picked up rocks, cracked them, sent them off to the assay labs. There are multiple things I would love to drill, but, you got to be focused. or the strategy that we're taking, some companies explore like this. They go from the outsides and come in, and the strategy we're using, we're coming from and going out that way. But the answer is, if we were valued properly, oh gosh, I would love to take 10,000 meters and go wildcatting, meaning go hit these places we ground truthed. And I have over on the Domino side, and we've drilled it and found great grades, and just we need to just go back over there, and one day we will. It just cost me a little bit more money, so we just haven't. But there's so many. I've got the Kingpin, the Top Rope, the Mare. These are the zones that my technical team have called. They're just screaming to be drilled. I mean, and with very high silver, 3,500, 2,200, 2,300 gram silver in place, just northwest of Ascot, right down the border up there. And, so it's beautiful, but you can't go drill at all. I have such large tenure. So we'll just keep focused in around that intrusion right now. And, Ben, why would I go somewhere else right now? We're putting out fantastic drill results. They all work together, and the market's not rewarding us. So why go drill something else?
Yeah, you are
Even
not.
if I hit it, it just doesn't matter. I mean, we're finding new discoveries, and nobody cares. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is the case not just with gold. It is silver, uranium, you name it. Big discoveries, big exploration success, and the next day the stock is down 5-10% or something like that. No, unbelievable times definitely. You said you're finding silver.
Unbelievable good time. I just want to say that,
Yeah,
even though
for a contrarian expert.
we're all sitting here in angst and we can't figure it out and banging our heads. Oh my gosh, this is called
Agreed.
opportunity. I mean, we'll never get the timing right. Don't put yourself in duress. Don't lever yourself. But this is going to be, look, people are going to look back at this and go, wow, this, one of the few times in life where there's going to be wealth that's going to be created. Yeah.
Agreed. I made money investing in the times when market didn't make any sense. So definitely invest when market doesn't make any sense. And we are now in this kind of times. Just quick return. You said you are finding silver. Are you finding any other metals?
Oh, we have interesting cobalt numbers even at the Blueberry, but we don't publish them. Not enough to get anybody excited. We don't want to confuse people. I got a lot. There's on our tenure. Really what we talk about is just in around Scottie and Blueberry, but I think there's 4 polymetallic mines down near the south on the Cambria project. So a lot of lead, zinc, silver. For sure, we have access to that, but not, pretty much in around Scottie and Blueberry is just pure gold, right? I mean, we have a 1-to-1 ratio. As we get further away from the intrusion, we start seeing silver numbers pick up, which technically makes sense. And so I think on one of our holes, 400 grams of silver. So it's starting as we get further south from that intrusion that really is the basis of the little area that we're having the success with now. And as we go further south, we'll probably see more silver. But let's just focus on the pure gold at the moment. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, mineral resource estimate. You said Q2 probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, my goal and what I hope, and again, it's outside of my hands, is, and I'm paying these people. I'm like, please, can I have it before PDAC? So March 1st would be what I'm really pushing for. But I always get disappointed from our contractors. So, I've been doing this a long time, but that's what I'm praying for. But it doesn't matter. It's coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, to have it in March, that will be a good timing, agreed. So, next time we meet in London in December, you will probably have PEA, right?
Oh yeah. I sure anticipate that. Yeah, I mean, we have, Kevin on our team's kind of working on that, even though it'll have to go to independent. But that's kind of one of his expertises, and yeah. So yeah, we're excited about that. Actually, it's not the resource that we're really excited about. It's the economics on that resource because, not all ounces are the same. We are at or at the Scottie gold mine. We are at or at Blueberry, which means less development, which means more profit. It's just economic. And so that's the whole reason of pushing the MRE this year. And we just decided, 6-7 months ago, okay, let's just do it. Even though we're excited, we know we've done a great job. But, the market, we want to see 5 million ounces, and we're going, you know what, let's differentiate ourselves. But when you understand the economics of our rocks being steeply dipping right on surface, hydropower right on site, our development costs are very, very paltry compared to a greenfield story, like substantially cheaper. So that's what we're going to demonstrate and show, and hopefully that resonates with the market.
Yeah, you have 2 mills surrounding your properties. How will that work in the future?
Well, I mean, that's all speculation.
Of course.
Yeah, so we've done the metallurgy on our rocks, and we know we're compatible with the Bruce Jack mine that's north of us, which is the flotation circuit. And we get the same recoveries as they're getting at the Valley of the Kings. And then to the south of us is SCOT, and that's a CIL plant. and we're 94 to 97% recoveries there. So we know that we're compatible with both those mills. But what you'll see in 2025 is completely different because we're only 40 kilometers away from a underutilized bulk shipping terminal. That's where Bruce Jack sends their concentrates. They drive 250 kilometers or so to get to that Stewart bulk terminals. Skeena, their whole business plan, they're going to drive over 200 kilometers to drop their cons at that. I am 40 kilometers away from it. Don't even have to go on a paved road, just right down a hill. I'm one of 3 mines in the world that close to bulk shipping. So we are going to just work out some direct shipping ore scenarios and start showing those kind of economics in 2025. We're engaged right now in an ore sorting technology, sent a bunch of rocks to Germany, I think, and kind of copying. Well, Cisco's having some really good success on ore sorting, and apparently our ore, the mineralogy of our ore, being peritite pyrite, is really, really ideal for ore sorting. So we're going to do that, and if we can show that we can make a concentrate of, like, let's say 15 grams, right? Then we'll do the economics on direct shipping ore. And then so there's more than one option, and that's what you want. And when the market wakes up, when you have competition, then you're going to get paid appropriately, whatever that is, whatever the fair price is, right? And so those are the things we're working on to try and unlock value and just show the market and show shareholders why a $40 million market cap is ridiculous from our point of view at Scottie for what we offer.
Yeah, and the stage where are you at the moment? What about Cambria and Georgia projects? Have you come up with the plan for those, or there are any JV discussions, or what's the plan?
Yeah. So I worked so hard putting together this massive land package, and we drilled. So we'll just talk about Georgia River first. So Cambria, I'm keeping it together. I was discussing about maybe spinning that out because it's a beautiful, untouched, real package. It's never been owned as one piece before. There's a system there. We can tell from all the mineral showings. Excuse me. But because where it's situated in between Red Mountain and Ascot, that's there too big, and Scottie, we're going, let's just keep that intact for now. Georgia River is a different story. Now, I got Georgia River in a transaction maybe 4 years ago. I took over another public company. We drilled it for 2 years, and it was super fantastic. I mean, we love it. We haven't gone back because a little bit more expensive. It just takes a helicopter to get there. But, I've got 4 bonanza hits all along this southwest vein. There's a non-compliant resource of 270,000 ounces of about 20 grams. And this report was written in 1990. And we were like, it's kind of suspect. But what we did is, just like I did at Scottie, we took all the core, we relogged it, modeled it, drilled it. It's different than Scottie. It's more of a classic quartz vein system. It's just more typical of gold hunting. And, we've added to the lands. We've ground truthed more. We've got a lot more showings in our understanding. I think it would be better than 80% of the junior exploration companies out there. So that's packaged, ready to go out the door because our shareholders aren't getting anything for it. So I'm not going to spin it out and run it and try and run 2 companies, and I know lots of other guys do that. But I think what I can do is, because we know the area so well, we own all the infrastructure right in the town of Stewart. If the right group came along, it has to be the right group. I mean, we've had people show interest, but if it's, we're not going to give it to the, just to anybody. If it demonstrates a good team and gets done properly, I think that's something that could give our shareholders a lot of value because they're getting nothing for it right now. But if we give it to somebody, we want to make sure that somebody's making a fair go and they're technically sound. But Georgia River is beautiful, and like I say, but we have packages. It's ready to go. I'm so busy with what I'm doing right now, and the market is being what it is. We're in no rush to do it. I mean, Georgia River I could hold for 10 years because I've done enough work on it. So it's the way the Canadian, like it's
Good
easy for us
standing.
to hold. Yeah, yeah, but oh yeah, no, it's for the right team. You're going to get good results drilling Georgia because we've done it. So and there's
Fair
lots
enough.
lots to go, but we're just focusing. We would just focus in around that intrusion at Scottie Blueberry. There's so much more for us to keep adding to what we've done so far.
Understood. Brad, you have done a 6-to-1 consolidation of shares. Why is that?
Well, there's a few reasons. First off, I was at 300 million shares outstanding, of which I was going, oh my gosh, we're in no duress. I don't need to raise money right now, but let's say eventually a junior exploration company is going to have to raise money. I was going to breach that 300 million eventually one day, and I'm going. I've been focusing a lot in the last year on retail in the U.S., and I got enough feedback going. Look, if I'm 17 cents Canadian, like it's a 10, 11, 12 cent US stock. And if you look at the quality of who's been supporting me, I'm kind of trying to replicate that in the US. And they're like, Brad, I can't buy a 10-cent stock. Some funds won't even they're not even allowed to, regardless how great they think we are. And if you have a Merrill account or a JP Morgan account or a Goldman account, from what I heard from some of the people, they get charged a penny a share just to buy a Canadian stock. And you go, okay, so let's make it easier. Let's differentiate ourselves just from the hundreds of others, junior exploration companies. We have confidence, right? I look at that market cap and I go, hey, like just if a sophisticated investor is going to look at the market cap, go, there's lots of value to unlock. We just take that away of, oh, there's going to be a rollback one day, and go. And now you look at it, news. What does well? A news story, right? News story. Oh, fresh sheet of paper, and you go, okay, well, I'm under 50 million shares outstanding, cash in the bank, news coming. There's never a good time. I know I'm going to take it on the chin, and I have a little bit, but for the most part, actually, it's probably a lot less painful than I thought, and and again, so I'll be in the U.S. an awful lot in the first quarter, and just pounding the tables with the Americans, and hopefully my theory works. But I mean, we haven't been creamed that much. I mean, the whole market's bad. It's hard to know where I'd be if I didn't do it. But we've been bouncing along the same price we are. I mean, today I'm looking at my screen right now. I'm 88 cents. It's the cheapest you've been able to buy my stock in 5 years. So I think it just gives that fresh sheet. No one's ever going to worry about it again. And again, it's the market cap I look at. And and I did it to myself. So, I had 14 million shares or whatever. And I haven't even calculated exactly how many I have because that emotional, and it's a psychological thing. But let's look at some of the best stories in the market today. Okay, I would say Snowline, Great Bear, and Founders Gold. Okay, and sure, if you got in at that 25 cents and boom, but look at what happened when they hit $2. Look, that's when you saw all those stocks actually really accelerated after they hit $2. Those three stories, I know them all very, very well, and I'm going, that's what we want, But anyways, we'll see. I'm not out of the clear yet. I don't get a lot of nasty phone calls, but you get a few, and But I just have to show them. I believe I'm right, but it's yet to be written. I still got to go to work. Yeah.
Yeah. In October, Kevin Jennings joined the company as a strategic advisor. What does he bring to the company, and will you add more new people as you advance your projects?
Well, we are looking at, I think, with what we're doing, we probably do add more. Kevin is probably the best thing that's happened to the company in years, and the general market might not know who Kevin Jennings is, but if you talk to big company guys, there's a lot of people just can't believe that he's lent his name, and it's not just his name. I mean, Kevin he's probably working harder than I am, and I think he's having fun doing it. Now he's been retired for I think 7 years. He's done a few little contracts, restructuring things, I believe, for Centera and such. But generally he's just been managing his own money. He's actually younger than I am, a couple years younger. But what he brings to the table is I don't think any junior has. Like when we get into negotiation time and people want to sit on the other side of the table, I'm just like, well, here's Kevin, right? And whoever's on the other side of the table, I don't care if it's Newmont. It doesn't matter. At the very best, they're going to be Kevin's equal. And his experience, his depth of knowledge of things. I learn so much every day. I mean, this guy's got 70 spreadsheets already, and they're all economically focused. So what he does, his specialty is he financially models mineral deposits all around the world. There's hardly a deposit he doesn't know. And what's really neat, even when I was in London, some bigger, they're just not Kevin Jennings. Because, I mean, this guy had Xstrata, Glencore at very senior positions. I mean, CFO, Barrick Africa. And we talk every day, and he's having fun and teaching us an awful lot, but really kind of realigned and re-energized both Thomas and I to going, doesn't matter what the market sees. He goes, this is what I see. And, in his contacts so he's right now talking to smelters all around the world going, if I get to 15 grams, what can we do? And, and he's the one who's kind of guiding us into go, okay, let's just put you into a little bit of a different category here. So he's really, it's fantastic. It's the best thing that's happened to our shareholders, for me, myself personally, energize us. And again, learning a lot. And I think that upper level is kind of noticed it, and maybe that's spurring some of these bigger entities talking to us now, but
Yeah. Brad, what did you say? What is the current market cap as we speak?
What's the current market cap that we have right now?
Yeah.
I think 40 million or 40.
Okay, so would you agree that with the cash you have in the till and the ownership of the building you have building in your, you own a building. So would you say that covers your market cap without...
No, not the cash in the building, but I could say this. We've done all the studies on the tailings. We just sit there. We never talk about the tailings, but we know that there's a value to the tailings. Pretty easy for us to, right? The cash, the tailings, and the building are worth more than the whole market cap for sure, right? And we don't owe a dime to anybody. Everything's paid for. No property payments. No, it's ridiculously cheap from our point of view, and I mean, we've got a 17,000 square foot warehouse. We being Scottie, you couldn't pour the cement for that building for $3 million, I'm sure, right? So, and that's why we got, we bought that, and people are like, oh, but I mean, Stuart. Now you have to understand, it's a tiny little town that's been waiting for SCOT to restart forever. I mean, I'm from the area, so I know it very well. When Eskay Creek Staking Rush, there was like 2,000 people lived in this town. Now I think it's 300 in the winter. So we paid. I think Scottie paid $400,000 for that building about 5 years ago. But it's 17,000 square foot warehouse. I sleep 30 people in it, 2 commercial kitchens, and it stops me transporting equipment to and from the north all the time. It just all fits into the nice warehouse, and you save. It's an extraordinary amount of money just shipping equipment up north. So I think it was a unique thing to do for an exploration company, but I'm so happy we've done it now. But yeah, my market cap to what we have just in things on the ground, right, are
unbelievable. Let's conclude this with the final question. News flow from the company. Actually, are the all assays? How much of the assays are still are coming?
I think there's about 15 or 16 holes we haven't released yet, and so I think you know, we're there. We got partials, and it's all kind of coming to us now. But you know, Thomas is out doing a seminar, a technical thing in Calgary today, and we're not even going to open up the emails to the new year. I mean, you know, even the one I put out yesterday or whatever, a couple days ago, I was kind of thinking I could, you know, we'll wait. But the, you know, the stock was kind of softening, and I'm like, all right, I want a respectable year-end close, and so we put that out. We'll save some for the new year, and like I say, so I won't even don't even open up the emails. It takes a lot to process it and make the figures. It's not like I get them on a spreadsheet and I can put it out the next day. So, you know, it's getting close to the holidays, so we'll wait for the new year and save a little bit of news for the new year. But
Brad, thank you very much for this interview, and just keep on smiling.
all right, thank you. Very good seeing you.